We're going to replace the leaky power steering pump. First thing we're going to do is disconnect the negative side of the battery, and then we're going to take all these covers off all the way on the right side of the engine. Alright, next we want to loosen and remove the belt. I hope you can see this nut right here. You want to turn that nut counterclockwise like you're loosening it. And that'll give you enough room to remove the belt from the power steering pulley. We want to move this big coolant hose out of the way. It's in the way of the power steering, and for that you need to drain some coolant out of the system so it won't drip. I'll put a rag at the end. Remove the power steering nut. We'll need something like this to prevent the pulley from turning while you're opening up the nut itself. And here we go. Let's see, just take that nut off. Let's see. All right, it's coming off. Put that to the side. And let's take this little anchor out of the way. And what I want to show you is the direction of this pulley. So this is the outside and this is the inside. Okay, we want to remove as much as fluid as possible from this reservoir, and make sure that you don't puncture the little screen that's on the bottom of that reservoir. And if you are going to keep this reservoir, make sure you don't puncture it. So go as far as the turkey chute can go, and don't push any further. Next thing, we want to remove this return hose and this pressure hose from the pump. There is a bolt, 14 millimeter. It's all the way buried in there. You may not even see it if it's dirty and everything. And there's also a nut that is attached to this right here, to this stud, that you will need to remove. There are two more bolts to remove, and this one you can reach it with a long ratchet. It's a 14 millimeter. The other one needs to be accessed from the bottom of the car. Here's a view from underneath the car. The bolt you're looking at is way on top, and the alternator bolt is on the way. So you're gonna have to take the alternator nut off so you can access the bolt for the pump. Make sure the the battery is off. Here's the power steering pump removed. This is the alternator, and this is a good chance to clean some things to make sure the alternator is not flooded with ATF. Here's the new pump and the old pump next to each other. One area I wanted to show you, this is what is called the IAC valve, and as you can see, mine is broken, and I hear that it doesn't do a whole lot for the car, so I'm going to just keep this. As you can see, in the new one is already plugged, so I'm just going to keep the plug and not use the IAC valve at all. Here's the new pump installed. The very first nut you want to get in is the one that goes into the stud. All right, we have everything in the car: the pulley, the belt, the pump, the return hose, the pressure hose, the coolant line, and I added some ATF to the pump, and I believe we're ready to start the car and connect the battery and bleed the system.